Hi folks, we are looking at scooters today. I got a new one to show you that I think is a bit of a game changer. You know, the scooter market here in Thailand this year has really heated up. There's several new offerings. We looked at one about a month ago in the large scooter class called the Zontes. And I'll show you again just to refresh your memory, but basically competes with the X-Max and Forza, the Honda Forza, the Yamaha X-Max. And I think it does a very good job competing with them, albeit at a much lower price. I think now, after the dust has settled, we kind of see it for what it is, and it's bigger, it's heavier, but it's also more powerful. The class leader in the large scooter segment would be the Forza, Honda Forza in terms of power, but still only at about 29 horsepower and about 180 kilograms of weight, where the Zontes is more like 190 kilograms of weight, but 20% more horsepower at about 36. So it's proven. I've seen all over social media and people racing them and everything, and it seems like the Zontes can handle Forza or an X-Max handle it. But that's not what this is about. But there's a new player. The new player I want to show you, I think, might even challenge the Zontes. Let's say, for example, right up here in front of me is brand new NMAX, Yamaha NMAX, and a brand new PCX. This would be the mid-size scooter, one 155cc, one 160cc, both right around, kind of splitting hairs at about 100,000 baht, maybe 90 to 100,000 baht, depending where you buy. That is a thing here in Thailand, depending where you buy, because there's inland transportation to dealers. Bangkok, a lot of times, might be cheaper. Pattaya, for whatever reason, seems to be higher. I think some of that has to do with supply and demand. But these are very popular models. The PCX 160, the NMAX 155, they compete with each other very well. It would come down to personal styling, taste, and how you feel sat on it or riding it as to which one you would be purchasing. However, what if I told you for about the same price, you could get one with almost twice the power, twice the engine size, and more features? Or let's flip that. Let's say you're not looking at an NMAX or a PCX. Let's say you're looking in the large scooter market. Maybe you're considering a Forza 350, an ADV 350, or an X-Max 300. Very popular, especially in the Pattaya area. Maybe you're considering one of those. Well, our new offering competes directly with those, but at about half the price. It's called the DZ3. So that's right, it's a GPX offering. Now, GPX is made here in Thailand, and historically, the wobbly knees of the GPX line has been the resale value, but that has gradually improved with each generation of model they come out with. And in some ways, they are their own worst enemy, because they come out with new models very frequently. It just seems like yesterday we had the Drone, which competes more with the PCX, or the Madison here again, which would compete with the PCX. And now they've got a whole another new offering here in the DZ3. So with all these new models coming out, a lot of times people would say, well, why should I pay a lot for a used one? I can get a brand new model for not that much more. So in terms of resale, that's one thing that's harpooned them a little bit. The quality has improved with each generation. That's helped. And now the latest generation GPX compare very close with the Japanese counterparts in terms of Honda and Yamaha. The DZ3 comes in, I've seen them in Bangkok for 99,000, 99,999. So let's just say 100,000 baht. Here again, right around the same price of a PCX or an NMAX, but you're getting a 300cc class bike. It falls into the large scooter class. Now, what they've done, they've actually, instead of what Zantes did going bigger, they've gone smaller. So in terms of size, weight, the GPX DZ3 comes in at only 160 kilos, a full 20 kilos less than a Forza, for example. That has about 5 less horsepower than a Forza, about maybe 3 less horsepower than an X-Max. It's in that neighborhood. The engine, exact size of the engine is 278 cc's, which, believe it or not, is, I think, exactly what the outgoing Forza, the old Forza 300 had, and very comparable in power to that. So it would compare more to the Forza 300. The Forza 350, definitely bigger and a little bit more powerful. But at a weight savings, this actually has an advertised top speed higher than either the Forza 350, the ADV 350, or the X-Max 300. The advertised top speed is 160 kph, or just under 160 kilometers per hour. Now, I know a guy in Bangkok. He's a very big motorcycle guy here. He owns one of the biggest used motorcycle dealerships in all of Thailand. I've been there before. We've been there before. We have done a video there that you may have seen. And he got to actually test one of these about a month ago. It's kind of new to the market, but I think they were rolling them out about a month ago. By this time, all the dealerships should have them in stock, in other words. But he tested one. I'll show you his impressions. And he actually rode the thing, got it up to, I think, 155 or something like that. I'll show you. I watched the video yesterday. I was very impressed with it. I was very impressed with the throttle response, his impressions with it. And I trust this guy. He's a big motorcycle aficionado here in Thailand. I know a lot of people probably don't watch his content because it's all in Thai. But here again, I follow him and kind of glean what I can out of it. And he was impressed, as am I. So what do you get? Now here, I was quoted 100,800, so just smidge over 100,000 baht, because it's Rayong. Your mileage may vary depending on what part of Thailand you're in, but let's just say right around the 100,000 baht. For that price, you get ABS. Even the base model has ABS. They only have the base model here at the dealership that I'm at in Rayong. There is what's called the sport model. The sport model is about 5,000 baht more. For that, you get beefier, chunkier rear shocks and a couple other little bits and bobs. But even the standard, or the basic model, has USB charging, has the little glove boxes. It's a very nice under the seat compartment. I like what they've done with the battery. The battery has very easy access, but it's all sealed up. It's a sign of quality to me, the way they've engineered that. The box under the seat there is the mirrors. The mirrors are in the box. They just screw on. But I had Lan sit on this, and we have a PCX at home that she rides. The PCX is a little big for Lan. Lan's tiny. She has short legs and everything. She's a pocket rocket. But, you know, she feels about the same sitting on this DZ3 as she does our PCX at home. It's only negligibly bigger. So they basically put the 300 series engine in the 150 series scooter. I think that's a bargain. I think that's good. Even with the lower resale, even if it was maybe 15% lower resale than you would get on an X-Max or Honda, you're paying 50% less for it out the door, almost 50% less. Let's say in terms of a Forza, a new Forza, maybe around 180, or X-Max around 180. The ADVs maybe around 190. Here you're looking at only 100. So it's quite a saving. So even if you get beat up a little bit on resale, I think it's definitely worth looking at to see how you feel on it. I said it on it, I felt fine on it. Felt very PCX-esque to me, but just a tad bigger. It's hard to describe. It's a little bigger than a PCX, but I think considerably smaller than the Forza or the ADV. So regardless of what kind of scooter you're shopping for, if it's a 150, 160cc, PCX, NMAX, whatever, that's very popular, you might still want to look at this DZ3, because it's going to be about the same price, give you a lot more power, maybe a little bit more room, maybe a little bit more space, without going overboard. And that's one of the problems I have with the big scooter class. It kind of takes away from what a scooter's designed for, which is nimble in traffic, easy to lane split, easy to get around town, easy to get on and off. And the bigger they get and the heavier they get, well, that becomes a little harder to do. And they've reached the point, some of them, that some of these big scooters are as heavy as my big 650 touring bike. So I almost don't see the point in it anymore if it's an around town type conveyance. Of course, they're all designed for suburban commuting. That's the goal of the large scooter. Maybe you live 20 kilometers or so out of town and you commute into town for work, something like that. They do that very, very well. That's what they're designed for. Take you from the suburbs into town. When you get there, you can generally find parking. You can get around traffic a lot easier than you can in a car. That's their sweet spot. And here in Thailand, you know, especially like in Pattaya, Bangkok, the scooter is basically the smaller the better. The smaller they are, you get in some of these parking spaces, they're too big. Some of these bikes are too big to fit in the scooter parking spaces. I've seen it. You almost have to park them, if they have a big bike area, they almost have to park in a big bike area because you're competing with parking spaces for Honda Waves and Honda Kickz, which are much, much smaller, much lighter, and much more nimble. On the other hand, though, the Zontas here, that's a big boy. That seems more like an extra large scooter class with the 350cc engine and the power to match it. So, but there again, I think they only come in at about 140,000, 145,000. You're going to save about $1,000 US on one of these Zontas as compared to a Honda or an X-Max. So anyway, a new player in the market there. Didn't get a chance to ride it. They don't have a demonstrator model here. I can't wait to ride one. Sooner or later, I'll give one a ride. I've ridden all the others already. Not the Zontas, though. It's another one I'd like to ride. Maybe I can find an event and ride them all at once. That would be cool. All right, we got some other things to do.
So there you go. While we were in Old Rayong, I decided to go around the corner and try to find something to eat while I reflected on everything I had just seen. And I'll show you in the real world how these stack up. I've been watching some tests. There's some very good tests online. You can probably find them searching on YouTube as I did. But the first one here with the Honda side of the house. So in a comparison, direct comparison on a quarter-mile race between a Forza, a PCX, and our new GPX, the little GPX took them all off the line on 3 consecutive races, even edged them all out on one. On the 2 subsequent races, the Forza did catch up right at the finish line and edge it out, but still, I think a very respectable finish. And on the Yamaha side, not even close. On all 3 races, the little GPX handily took care of both the X-Max and the N-Max. So, good stuff. In terms of the other one, the Zontas, which is another bargain bike, I think, definitely took care of both the X-Max and the Forza. You can throw the ADV in there as well, the ADV 350. So there you go for the Win Place show. We've got the Zontas, followed by the Forza, followed by the X-Max. So, hope somebody finds that helpful. Maybe somebody's shopping for scooters. Anyway, we will look at something else next time, but as we sit down and eat here in Old Rayong, I've got to go ahead and leave this one off right here. And as usual, I'll thank you for watching. And until next time, bye for now.